Hi, everyone. Got a great question this week from a practice owner. And the question was, how do you balance or prioritize the different parts or areas of the business? Excellent question. Okay, so I'm Dr. Karen, if we haven't met. And there's three things that I'm going to highlight for you. So whether or not you are a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur, you're a professional, maybe you're actually even a manager that actually or a team lead that actually is trying to kind of help drive home results. This will be a great video for you. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so you get notified when new videos come out. So there's three things, okay? You ready? The first one is you want to really get clear. This is actually an exercise that when we work with small business, we also work with very large organizations. And so it's the same. One of the things that we actually love to do is actually teach leadership principles you can apply to every size of business. But a lot of these you can actually apply on the personal side as well. And this is actually interesting. Actually, just before I dive in, only 8% of people are actually achieving the goals that they actually have set out for themselves. 8%. This is an awful stat. I've got lots of data here in my book, the three chairs. So 8%. So this is a major thing. So if you're kind of struggling, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm just feeling so overwhelmed. You're not alone in this, all right? This really is not, this is a very, very common problem. But we need to have clear systems and tools in place for us to make sure that we're achieving our goals. So there's lots of resources I can point to, but I'm going to highlight three. Number one, get really clear, and this is really for entrepreneurs, solopreneur, businesses, team leads, you can do this as well, is get really, really clear on your goals or your KPIs or your OKRs, whatever you use as your metrics. Get really clear on what exactly it is that you are chasing. It's amazing to me on how many organizations they have tools or metrics, but a lot of times it's either just the executives have it, the emerging leaders actually don't. People don't really know. Only less than 50% of people actually really have clarity in terms of what they actually are responsible for. So it's really important, certainly as a practice owner, as a business owner, get really clear what exactly is it that we are going to be chasing this next year. We really follow out the OKR model, which is 3 objectives and 9 key results. We love that model. It just helps to get real clear on this is what we're actually going to be focusing on. This is what we're going to be saying yes to. So this is your first thing. Okay, the second thing, once you have clarity on what your OKRs are, the next thing you need to do, which is super important, everybody, is your time management. So if you need help with time management, we have a great course called High Performance Mastery. We do it every single year at the beginning of the year. And it's a great course for literally every level of leader. So whether or not you're an emerging leader in your 20s or if you're a CEO, it's one of those great courses that is great for everybody. And because one of the things that we teach is you have to time block. So you have to get clear about what your goals are. So in a business, whether it's KPIs or OKRs, but the second piece is you have to manage your time properly. Time is really, really precious. We have limited amount. If we don't carefully manage our time, all of a sudden we're going to be at the end of the day going, oh my goodness, what has happened? So you have to time block. And so one of the things I teach in the course, High Business Mastery, I also teach it in this book. Again, if you want to kind of just have some practical tools, I talk about when I, as an executive coach, when I'm actually working with C-suite leaders, I get them to time block. So did you know, for example, that although we have 24 hours in the day, those 24 hours are not weighted the same. There are certain activities we should be doing at certain times of the day. So for example, most of us, our best strategic thinking should be happening in the morning. And administrative should happen in the afternoon. Our relaxation time, our self-care actually happens at night. So that's not going to be for everybody, but I talk about how you actually have to really get to know yourself and what your own energy management is, what they call energy management or time management is. And then you have to block it. So you have a really amazing daily routine, but also a really amazing weekly routine. And also with teams, I actually get them to do actually monthly as well. If you have not really mastered and figured out in terms of your energy management and time management, you'll feel like you're kind of reacting. So you kind of go into your office and everybody kind of like starts throwing stuff at you versus 8 to 11, and you're doing your high level strategy. And 11 to 12, you're doing your team leads. And 12 to 3, you're doing your delegation to the rest of your, see what I'm saying? Like, you have to kind of block it, but you block it according to your energy. So it's very, there's a lot of self-awareness. If you need some help with this, we can certainly help you. You can work with other executive coaches, but the idea is to really kind of get clear about your own energy management and how you can actually block the time, so you've got a really robust daily routine and weekly routine, and sometimes even in terms of monthly as well. So like I said, it's in the book, The Three Chairs. It's actually the very first chapter. I kind of give a lot of case studies around kind of different executives that I've worked with and how we actually help them actually design it. And I'll tell you, it's a game changer. It is a game changer in terms of performance, productivity. Everything kind of starts going up, but also it actually reduces stress. It actually does both. And by the way, if you would like a great freebie on and this is a great resource for any practice owners or business owners, right down below practice. And we have a great one-pager called Accelerating Your Business. It's kind of like the really specific things that every single business owner, practice owner needs to have in their toolbox to really accelerate their performance. It's a great free resource, and I talk about all this kind of in it as well. Okay, so that's kind of the second. So the first thing is get clear on in terms of your OKRs, your KPIs, or what your goals are. Number 2 is really master time management or energy management. Again, we've got the course, you can get it in the book, but high level in terms of really understand what your own energy level is and how do you actually block it in your week. And the third thing is, once you actually, let's say you've got clarity on your goals, you've got clear about your blocks, then what you have to do is kind of really break it down. And to kind of really break it down in terms of goal setting, there's an exercise in the book. I forget with what page it is. I'd have to look it up, but it's a very practical tool that we called Lens. And lensing is when you have a project. Let's say, again, you're a practice owner, you've got clarity on this particular project. I'm going to do it in this block of time. There's kind of 4 main steps to when you actually have a project, and it's what we call Lens. So L stands for list. So you list every single item that needs to get done according to that particular activity. E stands for your estimation. You estimate how long each of those steps actually take. N is you number it. You number in terms of the priorities or the sequence that actually has to happen for that particular task. And S is you schedule it. It's a tool that we created in terms of really helping people accelerate their performance when they've already kind of time blocked. And it's fantastic, and it's super simple. You can actually even teach it to your kids. And what it does is it really breaks down big projects into a very easy bite size. So for example, if you're working on a project and you've kind of lensed a project, some of those items might take an hour, some might take 2 hours, some may take 4 hours. So you kind of block it, and then you kind of now, because you've kind of got your schedule all kind of mapped out, you can actually block in terms of, okay, this step I can do it on Tuesday, this third step I can do it on Friday, and you can actually map it all out. And when you have everything really well organized like that, all of a sudden you'll find that your productivity goes up and your stress actually comes down, because you can actually see where this project is, how it's actually going to get executed throughout that week. And so that's the third thing, everyone, is you want to really practice goal setting and lensing during your time block. Okay, so those are the 3 steps. Set very clear OKRs, KPIs, structure your time in time blocking, and the third one is actually apply goal setting / lensing tool. I talk about it in the book, and you can actually lens those different projects in those time blocks. And that's how you really start accelerating and driving that performance, and also lowering your stress. Okay, so again, free resource. You can put down business down below. Somebody from our team will send you. It's a free resource, and you can it's a great, kind of just a great tool to start assessing how you're actually doing with some of these skills. If there's a topic you would like me to cover, make sure you actually put it down below, and I look forward to seeing you at one of our upcoming YouTube videos.